Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell. Every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Well, this video today is going to show you, I guess, two spectrums of voters amongst the Democratic Party, of Black Americans to be specific. Now, as we know, Biden, his popularity has been diminishing over the past few years. One, with the Black American voters due to, I guess, a lack of policies, a lack of changes, things that he pretty much promised that he would do before he got into office, and now he's in the office and been in office now almost 4 years and hasn't done anything. Black Americans are upset. There has been no, anti-hate, black hate crime bill, no George Floyd bill, no bill to keep these police in check. Nothing. No reparations. There's talks of all this stuff, but nothing has been set concrete in stone. But yet you have anti-Asian crime bill, anti-Asian hate crime bill, whatever, when Black Americans are, by FBI statistics, are the largest victims of hate crimes. But yet there's no bill or law to make it a federal issue. There's no reparations, but yet there's no money for reparations, right? But yet money is going to fund wars, help war people out of Ukraine, Israel, money for migrants to come over that's been flooding the country. Matter of fact, things that don't even go together, they put them together in this recent bill that the Senate brought out, saying that they'll close the borders, but we need to also give more money to Ukraine and Israel. And most people are like, that's why you putting the two things together. You don't need both, one to do the other. And that's what, pisses a lot of people off about politics. And you see it's just, man, it's a game, man. It's just a game they're playing with our lives, our money, our livelihood, things of that nature. So now people are starting to take it serious. People are getting older, wiser. Well, some people are getting older and not wiser. Some people are just stuck in their ways, and we'll see that here in a second. But a lot of us are getting older, wiser. We can actually see information and decipher for ourselves what we believe, what we like, what we don't like, and make our own choices and not just do it because somebody else said this is what we should do, so we'll just do it. Things are changing. And people are going against the Democratic Party, bottom line, especially Black Americans. Younger Black Americans. And when I say young, I want to say 40s, 50s, and younger. Just not going for it. But let's get into a couple of these stories, things that came up over the weekend, dealing with Joe Biden and really the South Carolina Democratic primary, which we know he was going to win. He should win every primary because he has no one trying to oppose him, which is crazy because people are already talking about how he seems just unstable in his age, and they're concerned about his mental and physical capacity and ability. But yet, you still want this man in office, which makes me think, which makes everyone believe that this guy is a puppet. And somebody's pulling his strings and he's just the face of the Democratic Party, which I don't understand why this dude would be the face of anything, because he's old. He should be retired somewhere in Delaware, whatever, telling old, stories about how he was friends with the Negro back in the day. But anyway, let's get on into it. This is from MSN.com by way of the USA Today, and it says, 3 takeaways from President Biden's blowout win in the South Carolina Democratic primary. President Joe Biden easily won the South Carolina Democratic primary Saturday, notching his first victory in his largely unobstructed path to become the Democratic nominee in a possible rematch against Donald Trump in the fall. Biden's decisive win, which was called almost immediately after the polls closed, was not a surprise, given his lack of a formidable challenger. But it was an important milestone nonetheless, setting Biden on course to win the nomination as he looks to unite the entire party around his candidacy. Biden won a whopping 96.2% of the votes, followed by an author named Marianne Williamson with 2.1%, and Representative Dean Phillips, 1.7%. He's from Maryland, I guess. Despite Democratic angst, Biden is headed for the nomination. Let's read, because there's a part that I want to get to that's very telling about how people vote. Let's say Biden 81 still faces concerns within his party, about his age and ability to fire up young voters, progressives, and other core constituencies. Yet despite his flaws as a candidate, a viable Democratic challenger never emerged last year, and Biden is cruising toward the nomination. You know why there's no Democratic challenger? Let's go back to the Hillary Clinton days. When she was running for president, the Democrats were so dead set on her being a nominee that they purposely like destroyed Barry Sanders' campaign. They didn't want anyone else to become the person that was going to go against Donald Trump. They felt that Hillary Clinton could do it. So much in fact that they were willing to cheat, because what was that, Roland Martin? When he was on, what was he on? MSN, he was on some TV show, some network, cable network, and he was actually they say he was actually giving Hillary Clinton the questions before the debates for her to answer, so she can have, a one-up on whoever the candidate was. But I don't remember who it was, because I wasn't gonna vote for Hillary Clinton anyway, so I can care less. So she could try to beat Donald Trump and mess around and still lost. When Bernie Sanders probably would have been a better contender, quite possibly could have beat Donald Trump, because Bernie Sanders had the ear of the young folk, had the face of the old people, so he could have won all the way around, because he talked the things, the policies that he spoke on, pretty much everyone was behind. But yet, you tried to cheat your way into the office with Hillary Clinton. And then the heifer was hard-headed, because they say her husband told her which base she should target, and she was like, no, I'm gonna do how you did freaking 30 years ago? 20-something, almost 20-something, 30 years ago. And she ended up losing, because she was just, knew too much. But knew too much about nothing. So let's get back to this. It says Pam Joy, a black 62-year-old waitress from Charleston, sat out of Saturday's primary, but says she plans to vote for Biden in November despite her concerns about his age, because she usually votes Democrats. And see, that is a problem with, I guess, elections. That goes to show you that's why it's so dangerous, but that's why the Democrats can go out and go to churches and hold fish fries and have people like Roland Martin and people shucking and jiving and dancing in front of white folk. They know that they can do that because they know they have a base, no matter what, at this point in time, that will still follow them no matter what, to the ends of hell and back. Even if they're doing nothing for them, because she just says she usually votes Democrat, but has no legitimate reason as to why. See, nowadays, we are about policy, not politician and not party. Now it has to be about policy. And people might say, well, hey, Republicans, they're racist. They don't like black people. Hell, Republicans may not like anybody but themselves. But tell me how the Democrats are any different. If someone would approach me and ask me who I was going to vote for, first I'd be like, well, illegally, I ain't got to tell you. Really shouldn't matter. It's probably none of your business. I wouldn't say it that evil. Right? It's like, it's basically none of your business. And they try to persuade me to vote Democrat or even Republican or even independent, whichever way. But let's say brother, sister say, hey, let's say if Pam Joyce say, hey, you need to vote Democrat, son. I'm going to be like, why? Why in this election should I vote Democrat? What am I going to gain as a black American voting Democrat? Yeah. And she probably would say something like, well, keep Trump out. Okay. Why? Because he's racist. So, why? That's not a good enough reason for something that you can do that is so important that can dictate and determine your livelihood for the next at least 4 years and beyond. How can you just say, well, I'm just going to vote for this party just because that's what I do, no matter what, although we haven't really advanced as a people with the politicians, because basically we don't know politics. If we would learn politics and get behind politics, then maybe we would come to our senses and say, hey, and let me tell you what's going on right now, what's going to happen real quick. And y'all seen it happen, and I already knew it was going to happen. A lot of people knew it was going to happen. We're getting down to 2024. Now the Democrats are doing that same song and dance that always done. Joe Biden's like, we can close the border, but we got to do this. We got to pass this bill to help Ukraine and Israel. If they don't pass this bill, then the Republicans don't care about the safety of Americans. But not getting down to the root cause of it is once Trump got out of office, the moment you got in, you let his bill expire to let these folks come from all over the world to come to this country illegally and get benefits and live here free of charge. The Democrats did that. But now they want to say, hey, I close the border right now if they sign this bill. The bill got some stuff in there that everybody don't agree on. But one thing everyone does agree on is that border needs to be closed. So why you just can't separate that? Says bullcorn politics. Now, Biden also says, and I'll probably try to cover in the video soon, that he wants grocery stores to come down on the prices. And I'm going to call them out if they don't. Really? We've been going through this since the pandemic. Now, all of a sudden, election year, you want to act like you're tough on groceries? Man, please. Nobody want to hear that. And I'm quite sure there's going to be more things that's going to come out that he's going to try to make it seem like that he's going to doing things for the American people. And if he keeps losing the black vote, the popularity of the black people, then he's probably going to come out and say, oh, I'm ready to talk to Ice Cube now. What is his name? Ice Cube, Ice Pick, Ice Water. I'm ready to talk to him now. That'll probably come out. But here's the thing. While you are in office, here's what I'm going to say. If you want my vote, instead of sitting here talking about what you gonna do, you gonna have to do it before that November election. What is it, November 3rd, first week of November? You're gonna have to do it before the election. Not promises, not when it works. It's gonna have to be done. And matter of fact, some of the stuff to me might be too late. Because I don't trust you. Because we have to sit here and suffer for 3 years and almost 4 years before you did something. And I don't roll like that. Yeah, you come back because only reason why you did it is because you want something. and you're not doing it because it's the right thing to do. I don't like stuff like that. I don't like people like that who operate like that. So it might be too late for the Democratic Party, for people that are still in their senses. Let's see, and that's pretty much, but that's basically what I really want to see in that one is about the lady who said she's gonna vote Democrat just to be voting. Let's see, Saturday's primary marked South Carolina's Democrats' first since the Democratic National Committee, DNC, upended its primary calendar to scrap Iowa and New Hampshire as the first and second states to vote to begin with the Palmetto State. The party's rationale, even though South Carolina isn't in play in the general election, its large black population showcases Democrats' most reliable and important constituency, letting them set the course for the nomination process. So basically what they want to do is show that black folks still love Biden and still have faith in him. Biden's going to say, yeah, you need to have faith in me. And they think that the other black voters across the country will follow suit. Well, the turnout Saturday, not surprisingly, decreased dramatically from the highly competitive open Democratic primary of 2020, which Biden also won. Turnout among Democrats Saturday was only about 24% of the 2020 turnout. I don't understand primaries because if it's not, I guess so he won his nomination. I guess that's what that's for him to get his nomination. Like I said, no, he won't win anyway, so it don't really matter. They say, but Michael Tyler, communications director for the Biden campaign, said black voters made up approximately 76% of the early vote in South Carolina this year, compared with 56% in 2020. And here we go. Betty Monagot, 82, a retired nursing assistant who is black, said she voted for Biden because he was a godly man. She said there was no doubt in her mind that Biden would win the primary, but felt it was important for her to vote. My ancestors, they died for me to get this right to vote, she said. And she sat at a table selling sweet grass baskets she made. People like that, you're not going to change. They're not going to can't see the forest for the trees. They don't care. They're stuck in their ways. They're content. They've been raised like this, and they're not going. And like them people are not. They're not going to change. You're not going to get everybody, unfortunately. You're not going to get everybody, unfortunately. And what is it? South Carolina is with a boost from the state's most prominent Democrat, Jim Crow Clyburn, and we know about him. He said that we ain't getting no reparations. So, they love him. Famously saved Biden's candidacy in 2020 after his initial losses in Iowa, New Hampshire, and Nevada. So Biden lost a bunch of states and still ended up becoming president, which is why a lot of people are saying that election was rigged somehow. They would do. I just don't trust him. Almost makes you not want to vote because I don't trust him. I don't trust nothing about this government or this voting or this voting procedure, because somehow a loser wins. This ain't no rocket movie, man. It said, now in 2024, the people of South Carolina have spoken again. I don't want to read what the hell Joe Biden said. But my thing is this, like I said, you got Sister Manigault, who's 82, who said she said Biden is a godly man. Godly where? Godly where? This man has put your entire country in danger by allowing people from all over the world to come across here illegally, all because he wants money for Ukraine. You call that godly? I call that satanic. Man who don't even care about his own people. All I do is care about money. He care about his son, because his son used to have him and his son had dealings with Ukraine, hell, and Israel too. And they trying to keep them relationships going. But other than that, he don't care about the American people. And he already know he'll be, within the next 10, 15 years, he'll be gone anyway. So he's not even worried about it. He's worried about what his kids and his grandkids can do. They said ahead of the general election, Biden has work to do to ensure black voters to support him at the same level they did in 2020. They will not. We will not not Black Americans. The USA Today Suffolk University poll last month found Biden had support of just 63% of Black voters, a sharp decline from the 87 he carried in 2020. That's why, where do they get these poll numbers from? Because do they poll everybody in South Carolina, old people like this? And the point we're gonna make is 82 years old. I could have sworn old people ain't got no ID, so they couldn't vote. And Republicans was racist, trying to make people have an ID because it's racist because old people don't have ID. But this woman 82 years old and got an ID and was able to get up and vote. Other lady was 62 years old, was able to get up and vote. How is that possible? I thought Black folks didn't have ID. That was, I thought we were smart enough to go down and get IDs and voter registration cards. I'm just saying. Anyway, back to the polls. Are you polling people in just South Carolina, or are you polling people everywhere else? Because if you would poll people that I know, where I'm from, you don't even have 63% of your support from Black folks, Black Americans. You are not. So like I said, I want to know where the heck is he getting these numbers? Are they getting these numbers? But you may say, Marlon C., why you sit there and say that Biden wouldn't have 63% of the Black vote? Because also from MSN.com, this is by way of Fox News, but I believe it's also from MSNBC. It says Black male voters tell MSNBC why Trump appeals to them. We were broke with Biden. With Trump, we had money. See, Joe Biden is in the business of taking every dime back. See, the government is trying to get all their money back. They are trying to get all their money back. They took taxpayers' money, sent it overseas. Then again, let's say gave it to migrants. You got mayors saying that cities will crumble because of this this migrant, this what do you call it? This influx of illegal migrants coming into the country, and the government won't either confirm or deny this. The federal government. So what they're doing is they're trying to get money from everybody. You notice, and I'm gonna try to do a video on this too. My dad was doing taxes this year. Took his tax class. He said he does it all. He takes tax classes like every year, which is interesting. Which is, I think, I didn't really never pay attention to it, but now I am, because it makes sense. He said every year he takes tax classes. That way, when he files his taxes, he know what he's doing, right? He understand what's going on, understands the law, all the rules and regulations. I mean, makes sense. If there's something out there that you have a problem with, that's why I tell our people, never run from the law, never hide from the law. Get out there and understand the law. Understand what the law say in your state, locally, statewide, and federal-wide. Because the laws are what dictate how you can maneuver around the country. And these tax laws dictate how much money you can put in your pocket. But anyway, he was telling me how doing his tax that old folks come in there and file their taxes, and they owe with like H&R Block, TurboTax, stuff like that, to where they have to like pay up front before they can file. And you got people on fixed income who don't have money. Like there's one guy, he said he was getting like, a few dollars back last year, and now this year he owed. He was like, man, what? He said, I ain't got that kind of money. I said, well, you got to tell, before you file, until the 15th or whatever it is this year, to file, to pay the $200-something fee. It was just crazy. This guy, I don't even think he's working. He might be doing like part-time at Walmart, being a door greeter. It's jacked up, majorly. And it makes no sense. It's like, why in the heck are we being nickeled and down for everything? Even I saw a story about a woman who said she made like 6 figures, but only brought home like maybe $19,000 or $29,000 doing gig work with Uber and Lyft. And you also see how they want to take if you make money like with Uber, you do gig work, or you know what I say, you get money from like Cash App or Zelle or stuff like that. You know, especially things that people do, like when we do these vendor shows and stuff. Most of the business is not going to be with cash. It's going to be like Cash App or Zelle, things of that nature. You know, or what's called the Square app. But the Biden administration wants you, and that little money, you ain't got to pay. You know, you pay your own little taxes or whatever. But the Biden administration wants you to pay taxes. First, it was like $20,000, and now they trying to make it to where it's like $600. They want you got to declare it, which is jacked up because you got people trying to start out at the hustle, trying to get their hustle, trying to hustle into a business, and he want all that money. They want all that money. They want all those taxes. Why you do poor people like this? People trying to come up like this, not even giving them a chance to make a way. But yet, this is the guy that y'all want us to vote for. And you wonder why people want to vote for Trump. It's like right there in your face. You know what? Let's go. Let's get into the story. It said a group of black men spoke to MSNBC Friday about why former President Trump appeals to them over President Biden ahead of the 2024 presidential election. MSNBC correspondent Tremaine Lee met with voters at a barbershop in Charleston, South Carolina, and asked them what appeal Trump had amongst their demographic over the Democrat incumbent. Several quickly responded, money. Donald Trump had a reputation of being the money man, voter Anthony Freeman said. I just think that Donald Trump, in spite of all the craziness he may have in his head, reading some of the things he talks about what business, I can kind of agree with. Fellow voter Thomas Murray told MSNBC, because I'm trying to grow my business. As far as Biden, I haven't seen Biden really care about business like that. And my concern is having my business so I can build generational wealth so my kids can see and have something to take upon when I'm not here yet. I'll tell you about your business, man. Like real talk. You got to raise your kids. If your kids ain't in that barbershop with you, I don't know if you got kids or not, but they're not in that barbershop with you right now sweeping on the floor, they're not going to take over that business for the most part. So you got to see, the thing you got to do, like the motherfucker do, is groom your child from the time they are born until the time they up. And it's a good chance that they may not want. Now, I'm not saying you don't do it. You make money and you are biblically, scripturally, spiritually supposed to leave, you're supposed to leave something for your kids, an inheritance for your children, your sons, so they can build off of it. Yes. Maybe they got to build their own thing. But it's a slim chance that they're going to own their business. And two, also, like I said earlier, you better make sure you understand the tax laws. Do I have that book here? I probably don't. Damn. I usually have my stuff sitting right here. Now, you know what? Because I think I'm reading. I think I got it in the room. Yeah, I think I took it back to the room and I'm trying to reread it now. So it's not in here. But it's a book about tax laws. And I bet you want to turn the whiteness of wealth. That's it. This sister right here, Dorothy Brown. You can see it. This book, she breaks it down how the tax laws have been created, and it's just racist. But can't read nothing about it because it's just not, blatantly racist. It's ways they write the laws to keep people down who ain't got no money. Who ain't got no money? Who didn't have no money back in the day? We didn't. Who still ain't got it? We don't. So anyway, let's get back to it. Justin Brown, another voter in the focus group, said that people admire the persona and want to be him. See, the way they're doing Trump right now, black folks feel that. Trying to prosecute this man, just trying to get him on like 50-11 charges. Most of them gonna be dropped, but we feel that. We understand what he's going through, and we know that he can probably get through it, and that's what we trying to do. Get issues and act like, man, this stuff don't fade me. I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna come out on top, and then I'm going to destroy my enemies. That's just how we think. I mean, come on. they want to enjoy the perks that he has. He seems to always be able to circumvent the rules, Brown explained. All right. When asked whether there are people in their orbit who were either voting for Trump or considering voting for him, Kennard Gibbons replied, "For sure. A lot of my friends are obviously my age, so we're a little younger. We've only voted once, for president, and Trump is kind of like all we know." Gibbons said. They're like, well, we're broke with Biden. We weren't with Trump, and that's kind of the only thing that I'm hearing over and over again. With Trump, we had money. Well, okay, I hear you guys, but personally, morally, I couldn't see myself. Well, I guess he's talking about he's not going to vote for Trump because probably because Trump is a Republican. Let's wrap up the segment by telling Lee wrapped up the segment by telling MSNBC's Katie Turner that there were 3 buckets of voters among black men in South Carolina. Those who are planning on voting for Joe Biden again, even though they're not excited. And them are the people who just voted just because he's Democrat. Policy over party and politicians. Those who are considering voting for Donald Trump and those who will sit out altogether and take some sort of off-ramp out of the process, Lee said. So basically what I was getting to is, trying to point out is, you got more and more people who voted for Trump, all because they saw something. He gave us something. Whether it's a lot or a little, or who knows. But he gave us something. The Democrats have given us nothing. See, it's bad enough when you don't give us anything, but then give other people something. Okay? That's the problem right there. And that's what the Democrats have done. The Republicans, on the other hand, they may not give us nothing specific, but what's out there can help us if we understand the rules. So the Democrats will say, will know that Black America is being targeted by hate crimes way more than everybody else, but will do nothing about it. Okay, that's fine. But then you turn around and give a bill to Asians. You're like, what? All because 2 homeless people pushed 2 old Asian men down on the concrete? And you give them a bill and money? Like, wait a minute. It is bad enough that you don't give us reparations. Okay, maybe the Republicans won't either. But then you turn around and got all this money. You gave money to survivors of victims of the Holocaust and their descendants. Y'all said this. And we're like, wait a minute. Okay, it's one thing not to give us anything, but then turn around and slap us, slap us in the face and give something to people who we had nothing to do with as a nation. Oh, okay. You want to play that game? We got to get y'all out of here. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below and then share it with the world. Don't forget, go to marlonmorales.com for your perfumes, your cologne. Hey, Valentine's Day is coming up here in a few days, man. What is it, like 8 days? Dang, sure it's 8 days. My God, really? But anyway, cologne, perfume, you get silk scarves for the ladies. Go there and look into luxury items, man. With that being said, I leave you in peace.